Dealing with your loved one's personal belongings after death brings its own unique set of challenges, regardless of being part of a probate sale or a trust sale. As the executor or administrator of the estate, you are now charged with the distribution of the personal belongings of the decedent. If the estate is in probate, you must wait until you've been appointed as the executor of the estate by receiving the letters testamentary, or letters, from the court giving you the authority to begin managing the estate and dealing with the personal belongings after death. If the decedent had a trust, the trustee typically can begin almost immediately. The first challenge you'll likely face as the personal representative of the estate is having to deal with different emotions. The least obvious emotion one expects is the feeling of overwhelm. You've now started to assess everything and all the time that it's going to take to get the job done. Pile that onto your own personal responsibilities and it can feel unbearable. Yet someone has to do it. And if you were named in the will as the executor, it's because your loved one trusted you and believed that you were capable of doing the job. So you should be honored by that. But how do you prevent this overwhelm? The simple answer is surround yourself with a good team of people from the beginning. For example, a good attorney will provide assistance and guidance when contacting Social Security to stop payments, financial institutions to make sure you can access the assets, and contacting the tax authorities to make sure that any outstanding tax debt is included in the settling of the estate. If you need an attorney, let us know. We know some of the best probate attorneys in Orange County, California. The next member of your team should be a great real estate agent by your side who truly understands your situation and has access to the resources that can simplify the things for you. For example, we have locksmiths available for you, available on short notice. We have various contractors who will do all kinds of repairs, all the way from small handyman work all the way up to full-blown rehab without requiring any upfront payment from you or the estate, and will only get paid when the home sells. And my team provides a free clean-out service too. We'll manage the whole process from the estate sale and donations to taking all of the remaining junk to the dump so that you don't have to do it. And then the next members of your team, of course, are key family members or friends to help. If you can divide up tasks, even if it's just for a day or two, it can alleviate tons of overwhelm. But that brings us to the more obvious emotional hurdle, and that is actually going through the decedent's personal belongings and revisiting their life. If you're watching videos like this, you're probably already experiencing this. Old photo albums, that outfit they used to wear, the piece of jewelry that you made for them when you were young, and more. Practically anything can trigger an emotional response. Sometimes they're good emotions, and sometimes they might not be. But it's something you and the other loved ones will have to deal with, and it's probably unavoidable. But remember, the courts don't see these items as sentimental trinkets. They consider every single item in that home as an asset. And now, you have a fiduciary responsibility to all the beneficiaries of the estate, so as hard as it may be, you'll have to try to approach this like a job. Believe me, I know it's hard. I've been through it myself. One of the first things you have to do as an executor or administrator of the estate is to secure the property as soon as possible. By that I mean have locks changed and secure all entry points to the home. Not necessarily because of potential criminals, but more so that you can control access by family members. I know, it sounds strange, but it's important. It's extremely common for family members, friends, and even unrelated parties to descend on the decedent's home immediately after death so that they can rummage through the home and get first crack at heirlooms and jewelry, cash, collections of all sorts, precious metals, other valuables that might be in the home. I've seen homes thoroughly ransacked, all the jewelry removed, safes dragged out through the garage, expensive furniture loaded onto trucks, closets and dressers turned inside out looking for cash, artwork missing, guns taken, and even all the medications disappear. And by who? The family members. And sometimes those family members weren't even heirs, but for some reason, they felt like it was due to them. They were not eligible to receive a single penny, yet they may have stolen thousands from the estate and the beneficiaries. But who's going to prove it? It's unlikely that there was any kind of inventory of the home prior to the death. to show what was missing. And I'm sad to report that this is not a unique situation. I've seen this many, many times. It happens more frequently than you think by the people that you would never think would do it. And I know some of you are thinking, there's no way my family would do something like this. And there's some of you who are thinking, yep, my family would totally do that. But don't count on it. You'll have your mind blown when the people you think that you know so well ends up doing the exact opposite of what you expect. So part of the solution, as I mentioned, would be to immediately change the locks and check all the entry points to make sure that they're not accessible, and then post a notice on the door that says something to the effect that access to this property before court orders are issued may constitute a crime. But in this case, you are stuck in a little bit of a dilemma. Maybe you already know that you have been chosen by the recently deceased in their will to manage their estate. But until the probate court confirms those wishes via the letters testamentary saying the same, you probably have no authority at all. And according to my own personal understanding, you cannot take any action to manage the estate prior to being appointed as the executor by the court. It can take weeks or even several months to have the court issue the required documents. In the meantime, the estate may be losing assets as people randomly access the property. So if I were you, I would immediately contact your probate attorney and ask them if you can go over and secure the estate right away, and do you need any special permission to do it. If you need access to a probate attorney right away, reach out to me. I know some of the best probate attorneys in Orange County, California. If the property is part of a living trust and you've been named as the administrator of the trust, don't wait. You can secure the property immediately. The next tip is that even if everyone is friendly, don't allow relatives or friends to come over and arbitrarily rummage through the house and remove items. You need to first create a list or an inventory of as many items as you can, especially if you feel it has value. If you're not sure if something has value, reach out to a professional to determine that value, or do your own research online. Then pick a day and time that's good for all the beneficiaries to go through all of the belongings together, only with the beneficiaries and only their spouses if needed. I would give serious thought before allowing friends, boyfriends and girlfriends, co-workers, attorneys, and other non-beneficiaries to attend. Why? Simply put, the more people you add to an already emotionally charged environment, the more heated the situation can get and open the potential for disputes, preventing you from accomplishing the goal of distributing the personal belongings to the people who want them. After you set the date, I suggest you firmly establish the rules. To prevent any misunderstandings, everyone will go from room to room together and stay in the same room the entire time. No one should be wandering off to another room alone. No exceptions. This can only create the impression that they went off to do something like swipe some jewelry from mom's jewelry case. And even if that's not their plan, it can create the perception and throw a wrench in the whole works and start accusations and arguments. If everyone is in the same room, everything is out in the open, and collectively you all get to decide who gets what. As you go room to room, make sure that you ask if there's anything specifically something that somebody wants for sentimental reasons. I mean, something as simple as like a button or a piece of clothing, or that hat might hold more value than anything that can be sold. If there's something that more than one person wants, set it aside and revisit it later, because it's very likely throughout the day that something else will come up that they both want, and then a compromise can be made. Sometimes a trade-off is made, or sometimes if the item has significant value, one buys out the other, or they sell it and just split the proceeds. To wrap up this meeting, I usually tell my clients that after everything is divided up, usually everyone can relax. But only after everyone has moved their items to their vehicles so that nothing gets mixed up. And then you get to decide at that point if it's time to hang out, open a bottle of wine and tell great stories, or if it's time for everyone to leave because of the tension. A great way to get everyone to leave is to invite everyone out for dinner at your favorite restaurant once they've loaded up their items in their car. That way, after dinner, they can take them home with them and they don't have to come back to the property. Of course, This is all at your discretion and only a suggestion on my part, but be prepared to implement this type of plan if things feel like that they might not be going smoothly. Remember, as the executor, you have the final say. Not too long ago, I was helping a family prepare their home for sale in Irvine, and when they implemented this plan, it was going great. However, one of the brothers left the room for a little while. He said he had to go somewhere, he'd be back soon, and just to continue without him, and he was fine with whatever decision everyone made. When he got back, everyone was moving into Dad's den, where everyone noticed that Dad's very expensive high-end video editing computer was missing from under his desk. Immediately, they all assumed that the brother who had left snuck into the den and took it. After all, earlier in the day, several of the family members were discussing how to decide who gets it. After the brother insisted he didn't take it, the personal representative, my client, remembered that about a week earlier, we had done our free video inventory service where we go room to room and document everything on video for future reference for disputes just like this. Our client pulled the video up online in front of everyone and scrolled to the part where we videoed the den. And sure enough, there is no computer in the video. Everyone felt horrible for accusing the brother. This was a very close-knit family and they did not like to fight. It was discovered a couple days later on a receipt that the computer had been taken in for upgrades and it was already paid for. Because everyone felt so bad for accusing the one brother, they insisted that he take it. So the point is that planning ahead can go a long way to prevent hassles for you and hurt feelings for everyone else. If you end up selling anything, make sure you keep detailed records as proof of sale so that you're protected and everyone is aware of what's happening. Sometimes in the will or the trust, the decedent will specify that a certain item goes to a specific person or to charities, and every effort should be made to fulfill that request. I had one client whose mom wanted the car to go to her grandson. The car had no collectible value and was nothing special and probably only worth about $1,500. At the time, the grandson lived in Germany for work, and so the cost to send the car to Germany and get it registered far exceeded the value of the car. So in the end, the car was sold and the proceeds were sent to the grandson, and that was a smart way of handling it. Now that the family has taken their items, there's only a few options left: an estate sale, a buyout, and donations. Oftentimes my clients use all or some of these options combined, just depending on what's left over. After everyone took what they wanted, we would have an estate sale to try to sell as much as possible and put more money back into the estate for distribution. After the estate sale, we'll arrange a buyout. There's many thrift store operators, eBay merchants, swap meet vendors who will come to the home and make an offer to buy all remaining items as is. They will take it with them, they'll sort it out, and then they'll sell it. It's what they're good at. Of course, they only pay pennies on the dollar, but it's a good way to just get everything else out of the house. If there's anything left, we provide our free cleanout service where we will take any usable items and donate them, and the rest of it will go to the dump. Now the house is empty and we begin preparing it for sale. Remember, everyone deals with the loss of a loved one in different ways. Some are very sad, some have nervous laughter, and some just don't care. But as the executor, if you treat everything with reverence and follow the wishes of the loved one, you will have done your job. When others are going through the probate process and are experiencing what you're going through, I'm sure they would appreciate finding this video just like you did. And one of the ways this happens is when you hit the subscribe button and the like button, because it tells YouTube that this is good content and other people like you should see it too. So subscribe and like and share it too if you like. Also, if you have a specific question about selling a home in probate or in a trust, reach out to me directly and we'll get it answered for you. And it will likely benefit others too, because, well, we'll probably make a video of it answering that question. And, well, if you ask the question, then there's probably other people who would like to know the answer too. We've got other great videos popping up on the screen now, so feel free to watch those and browse around our channel to see if we've already addressed your question. I'm Anthony Nitz, the probate agent. with eXp Realty, putting the pro back into probate.